Well, this here is a little stump of a oyster mushroom, and I picked the stump off. It's got mould around here, which is probably aspergillus. It's green and all that sort of stuff. This is grown on wheat oats, and at the moment, as you can see, little pins are starting to grow. So what I'll have to do is isolate all of this stuff here and then start growing this tiny little section here in some new grain to grow more spawn. Well, I just gave this mushroom spawn a little bit of air so that it can grow, and a little spray of distilled water, and 2 hours later, look at this. Can't tell me that's mould. So now I've taken the lid off, you can see it's definitely a little mycelium colony, and I was hoping this would work, and it did. You can see all the white stuff there and how it's fighting against this aspergillus here. Aspergillus produces nice things like antibiotics and stuff like that. If you start seeing yellow or pink, that's bad. This here is just digesting. So the mycelium you can see sitting on the top here, and this little yellow button at the bottom, it's digesting and making food. So what they do is external digestion. So we have internal digestion, mould has external. So it basically makes a soup like a fly would do, spits everywhere and then drinks the soup. So what I have to do now is take this colony without getting any of this aspergillus and put it in some new grain and letting it spawn, now that I've identified that this is actually what I was hoping to grow, which was oyster mushrooms from a stump that I just pulled out and threw in some grain just to see what would happen. Well, it's been a day since the pinning has begun on these mushrooms. So all I've done is I got some sterilised grain and steamed it in the microwave, and then I've left it in here on top this stump of a oyster mushroom. I just picked it and put it in the grain just to see what would happen. So today we've got this going on. So what I need to do today is after this pinning is finished, which will probably be an oyster mushroom tomorrow, I'm going to get this white stuff, I'm going to separate it from all the other stuff that may be infected, and then I'm going to put it in some brand new grain and grow some grain spawn, and that way I can make new grow bags. So at the moment I got myself an alien. So these two grow bags of oyster mushrooms, I've got a blue oyster mushroom here, and I've got a oyster mushroom that's pink and frilly. I forget the name of it. I think it's called a phoenix. And then here I've got this stump that I've grown, and I can't remember which stump I took off here and put it in here just to test the theory out to see whether it would grow, and it has. So if anyone has tried this with portobello mushrooms, just picking a stump and then sticking it in some sterilised soil or grain, and it's actually been successful, write in the comment section and tell me, because I'm really interested to know, because I've scoured the internet and YouTube and can't find anything about growing from stumps. So I want to know if portobello's works, because then I'm going to find one that's growing in the soil, and I'm going to take some of the mycelium that come underneath the stump and see if I can grow it from that.